All right, so today we're going to look at some of the best Citizen watches for the money on eBay. Um, I think Citizen watches are probably some of the best value watches on the market. I think because they have eco-drive movements, if you take care of them and charge them at least once a quarter, um, they could last decades. I've bought watches that are 20 years old that are made by Citizen and they still run, and the capacitor was never replaced. Also, replacing the capacitor on most Citizen watches really isn't as difficult as you might think. I know on the back of the watch it says service repair only, um, and the thing is these open up just like any other watch. Uh, and the capacitors are really expensive compared to a regular standard battery. I think I've paid on average about $20 for capacitors, but once you install the capacitor, it's usually a Panasonic. I think is OEM for Citizen. It's going to last another 20 years if you take care of it. They're very low maintenance. They're arguably pretty low waste, e-waste too. So I just really like Citizen, and I highly recommend Citizen. I think that anybody who's looking for a good first watch, you should probably look at Citizen. They have a lot of really cool models, a lot of sports models. A lot of professional divers use Citizen divers. They're just affordable. They're tool watches, and they get the job done. And they're cheaper than Seiko at this point for the most part. So let's take a look. So usually what I'll do on eBay is I will type in Citizen watch, hit enter, and what's going to happen is you're going to see some newer watches or refurbished watches. These ones are probably okay. They're starting to put automatic watches out again, so if you're into automatic Japanese movements, Citizen starting to dabble in that market again. They're known for eco-drive, but they are starting to use, I think they're Myotas, and I think Citizen might even own Miyota. But anyways, buying brand new, you're usually not going to get the best deal. You can find some brand new watches out there that are pretty inexpensive, but I like looking at the pre-owned stuff just because I don't mind having a used watch, and I feel like there's plenty of really good options out there. So what I'll do here, I like to. I don't really like using these filters over here because not everybody uses these filters in their listings. So if you start selecting filters, you're going to miss out on good watches. So what I usually like to do is do the price per ship plus shipping lows first. The problem is you're going to see a lot of pretty inexpensive women's watches, and if you're a man like me, I'm looking for a certain case size. I think I want 36 millimeter or greater. Is good for me because I've got a 6.5 inch wrist, and that seems to be the sweet spot is 36 millimeter at the low end. I do have some older military watches that are like 32, 34 millimeter that are fine, in my opinion, but we probably also don't want to look at we don't look at anything from India, to be honest, and we probably because they fix a lot of watches in India, and I think they have really fast turnover, and they're not the highest quality watches when they're done being serviced. So I don't really recommend. And also there's Frankenstein watches. They'll take parts from all kinds of different watches and put them in a case. Like this could very well have an entirely different movement in it than a Citizen made movement. So I don't recommend buying watches from India or, for the most part, any um, foreign country. I like getting them from the U.S. because the shipping's usually quicker, and yeah, I don't mind supporting other people who sell on eBay in the United States. So we're gonna want to get rid of auction. We definitely want buy it now, and that's gonna take away about 2,000 listings. So yeah, what you're gonna see a lot of is women's watches, but they're pretty quickly going up in price. So knowing what I know, I don't think any of these are going to be a good buy. Most of these are going to be quartz. Most of Citizen's vintage watches are quartz, and we don't want quartz. We want an Eco Drive. Don't worry about whether or not it's going to charge. Any of the newer models, they're just going to work. Even if the owner hasn't taken the best care of them, if you leave them in the windowsill for a week, they'll most likely revive. Which is why Citizen is so awesome. But these are all vintage, and they all look like women's watches. So what you could do is you could select men, because I think that if I recall correctly on eBay, they make you have to select a department for your listing, or if you can't create it and you have to pick either men's or women's. So this is a safe filter. We could definitely pick men, and we will get results. I think most of these are pretty meh. If you're in the market for a dress watch that's Eco Drive, and you could also type in Eco Drive and more of these watches will come up, but some people don't put this stuff in their listings, and you might miss out on a good deal. But most of these are pretty inexpensive. So you'll start seeing stuff like this. It says read description though, which means it's got problems. But this is an okay watch. It's got a rotating bezel, most likely, and it's a water resistant, 100 meters. It's probably got loomed hands and indices, but it is quartz. What do they want for this? Okay, so the watch works. It's got some marks. This would be a good first watch if you want quartz. I don't know if the bezel rotates, and I don't know if it has a screw-down crown. It might. That's not a bad watch. This is a more modern watch, most likely. So it probably, and I think Citizen still puts out quartz watches too. But what is the case size? Yeah, people don't even. This is why you can't use the filter system, because if you selected like 36 millimeter case size, you're gonna miss stuff like this. If I had to take a guess, that might be 36 millimeter. This is an okay watch. I think we could do better though. It is quartz, but it does have that dive watch look to it. You might not. Also, it's gold and black. You might not want that color scheme. Maybe you're more of a stainless steel, silver person. That's understandable. Maybe you don't want gold. If you wear a wedding ring, though, that's yellow gold. That watch would pair nicely with that. But I personally don't like gold watches usually, even though they do pair with my wedding ring. Let's see. It's taking a second to load because I've got other things going on. I don't think any of these are going to be good. You know what? Let's do this. Okay. so this watch, this is probably a more modern model, but it's poor condition with a lot of scratches. You don't want that. You're gonna want something that's in better shape than that. So let's keep going. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of really traditional looking watches, and the thing is these other watches aren't these classic watches. They're not in style at the moment. Like dress watches are not in style. So yeah, you might want to look for a sports watch, like a dive watch or a chronograph. Is probably okay. Aviation watches are pretty cool, stuff like that. But that's what's in right now. Bigger cases, sports look, things like that. Okay, so I think getting into the $40 to $60 range is gonna put us where we want to go. Okay, my computer's finally good to go. Okay, so this is interesting. This is a perpetual calendar, radio-controlled EcoDrive watch. It's a world time. This is a lot of watch for the money. This is a really good first watch, actually. I don't know why my computer's running so slow. Let's see what they say about it. Works great. Looking for a stylish and reliable wristwatch. Check out the Citizen EcoDrive radio controlled. 42mm case. Yeah. This is an excellent, excellent watch. This is probably a new... Okay, so like, one thing you could do is you could search this in Google. And we could see how much it retails for. Which is pretty cool. So on eBay, it looks like this goes for $334 brand new. There might be an Amazon listing in here somewhere. I'm not seeing one, though. These are all eBay. Interesting. Okay, so we could probably... I mean, this was a $400 watch at some point. Not bad. Okay. Walmart wants $332 for it. Yeah. This is a lot of watch for the money. Okay, it's pretty dirty. Needs to be cleaned. Soap and water's fine with something like this. I mean, I've cleaned probably 100 watches with just soap and water. As long as you don't put too much water all over it. And I live in a dry climate anyway, so like I've never had problems with humidity getting in my watch and destroying it. I don't have problems with soap and water. Okay, so the real question is, does this have a sapphire crystal? Because if it's got sapphire, we are in business. I don't think it does. But this is a great watch. You just need to clean it up. Get a toothbrush, soap and water, lukewarm water, and just scrub away, and you will have a very nice watch. They don't say what the wrist size is for this, but it looks like it's got 3 links here and 3 links there, so it's probably 7 inches maybe. So if you got a 7-inch wrist, there you go. This is an excellent, excellent watch for the money. And Yeah, I don't really see any reason why you wouldn't buy it. Now we want to make sure it actually runs. So if you look at the listings, a way to tell is to see if the seconds hand is moving, because you can't adjust the seconds hand on most watches. You can only adjust the hours hand and the minutes hand. You cannot do anything with the seconds hand. So you can see here, the seconds hand is close to 45, the 45 minute. It's actually at the 46-minute indice. Now we're at the 52-minute indice. So you could see that the seconds hand did move. Although this picture looked the same. That's interesting. Okay, that makes me wonder if it's got a low power indicator issue, because one of the things that watches like this will do is it'll tick 4 ticks at a time and then stop. And that's exactly what's happening here, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's doing 5 ticks. It could be 5 ticks it could be once every 5 seconds. It'll tick 5 times. That's what I'm seeing here. So this watch needs to get charged more. I would bet that if you left this on the windowsill for a couple days, maybe even a couple hours, it'll start ticking and running perfectly. Um, so it definitely looks like just from the way these photos are taken, I can tell that it probably has a low power. It's a low power indication issue going on. Yeah, it looks like it's always moving in about 5 second increments. So that's something to keep in mind. But this is a newer model Citizen, so I'm not worried about the capacitor. I think you could buy this and it would run fine. So, oh, they want $165 for that. Never mind. Wow. How? Oh, okay, I see. Wow, I'm an idiot. I should have looked at that first. But that would have been a great deal if it were in the $40 range like we were looking. Anyways, let's keep going because yeah, yeah, so you could pay to have your listings promoted by eBay, I believe. And that's what's happening there. So that person paid for promotion and their listing ended up at the bottom of the page. Like these ones were promoted. You could tell that they just don't fit what we're looking for. We're still in the $40 range, and these ones are 300 and 250. So, sorry about that. You got to keep an eye out for that. But anyways, all of these are from India and Pakistan and stuff. So here's something else we can do. I should have probably done this earlier. Um, you should be able to item location, US only. Look at that, 3,800 listings now. That really narrows it down. So, because like I said, these other countries like Pakistan and India, they have hundreds and hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of these watches that they're just trying to sell on eBay. And I really question, like these aren't the original owner of the watches. They're a business that are flipping watches. So let's get back to our $40 watch area we were at. Okay, here we go. So we should be getting some better hits here. So far, this one seems to be the best that we found, as far as I could tell. And that's a Quartz watch. It's not even Eco Drive. So let's keep looking. That other watch, though, I mean, if it were $100, it'd be pretty worth it. None of these are... Okay, here we go. This one's not bad. It's a Quartz watch, though. That looks okay. The band's kind of weird. It has, yeah, so I think this is called a female lug, if I recall. Good luck replacing the band on that. If you do not like that band, you're stuck with it because nothing else will fit there. So just because of that, I wouldn't buy something like that. Um, It looks okay. But if you hate the band, you're going to hate the watch forever. There's nothing you can do about it. Let's see what else we got. There's that watch again. Yeah, totally. Promoted listing. Let's not fall for that one again. Let's see. Citizen. This one looks okay. This is just a chronograph. It has a lot of links. This is an older one. I believe it's probably quartz. It's got a really thin band. Oh, it's got the same problems as that last one. I'd pass on this one too. I wouldn't get anything like that. You want to be able to put a new strap on your watch. And you could put a NATO strap on your watch pretty easily, and they're super comfortable. They're made out of canvas, and if one of your lugs breaks, the watch will just kind of dangle off the strap instead of coming off completely and smashing into the ground. So, and you could also play with a lot of different colors with NATO bands. Like, I really, really, really like NATO bands. Also, if you lift, if you're doing any kind of exercise for your wrists will actually swell and shrink throughout the days, and they'll get larger over time. Obviously, if you're trying to bulk, get strength into your wrists, and that's another problem you're going to run into with bracelets. So if you're working out a lot, I would definitely pass on anything that's got a proprietary bracelet. This is okay. I think we could do better. Let's keep going. I'm not going to stop till I find a good value watch. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. What is this? What are you? So it's a vintage watch. It's $40. Pre-owned. It's got scuffs. It's got engraving on the back. There's no indication that it works from the seller. That is a cool looking watch, actually. I really like these triangles and then these kind of like oval looking, crystal looking ones. And then this is a bezel that Citizen used to use on a lot of their older dive watches. This is probably a comfortable bracelet too. It's got a lot of micro adjustments. That's pretty nice. It's two-tone though. Okay. Well, you can't really see it, but it's definitely two-tone. So it's gold. It's silver and gold. You have to like that. Yeah, that's nice. I really like the chapter ring. And it is ticking. You can see it. You can see it here. It's in the seconds hand is in a different place, and now it's in a different place here. And the hours hand moved a little bit. Like I said, you could actually adjust that. This is a really cool watch. The problem is, yeah, you got to be okay with that. But it's also probably going to be a smaller watch. But you know what? This is probably 36 millimeters. So let's look at it in Google. See if we can't find another listing that tells us more about the watch, because you could sometimes find other listings where they actually tell you what the case size is, and now you know the case size. I'm not seeing this particular watch anywhere though. That's a Seiko. It looks really similar though, doesn't it? Yeah, we're not gonna find it. This is a pretty rare watch. You could reach out to the seller and ask them to measure it. Some people don't know how to measure watches though, so what you could do is you could ask them to put a quarter, like take a photo of it with a quarter next to it, and that'll give you a really good idea of what size the case is. But this is probably 36 millimeter if I had to guess. But you shouldn't guess. You should definitely reach out. It might be 32 to 36. But these older dive watches are actually, the cases are generally bigger. So something to think about than the standard watches. So this is a really cool watch. I think this is the best one we've seen so far, for sure. And it's $50. That is a cool watch. For $50. Yeah, it's quartz, but so this one looks like a Submariner. It's two-tone. Meh. Okay, what's the case size on this one? They don't say. Do they? No. Parts or repair. Yeah, it's broken anyways. Let's keep looking. Let's find one more and see which one we like the most. This one's cool, but it's two-tone. I'm not into two-tone, and this is funky. It's a chronograph. It's got these dive indices. This bezel is not rotatable. I've had a watch similar to this, and you can't rotate that bezel. It's an imposter watch. It looks like a dive watch, but it's totally not. What is even the... Okay, so it's 100-meter water resistance, whatever. It's okay, but it's two-tone. Two-tone watches don't... They're not super desirable. So you might want to avoid them. And they're also two-tone. You have to like that gold and silver look, which I feel like that those two colors clash too much to look good. So I'd prefer full gold or full silver. Ooh, what are you? This one, it's another two-tone. I'd pass on that. We could do better. Man, we're still in the $50 range. Okay, what is this? So this looks like a classic chronograph. A lot of chronographs are gonna... It's way messed up, though. We could do better than that. But that looks like a old school vintage mechanical chronograph with the two subdials being like that, which is pretty sweet. If you like that look anyways. Whereas this looks more like a Valjoux 7750. That's the orientation of that watch. But it's also got a day date indicator, usually. Sometimes the watch manufacturer will hide the day and the date, or one of those two things, just to make it a cleaner dial, which is pretty cool. Okay, I'm not really seeing too much. We're at 27 minutes for this video. It's getting kind of long, but when you're researching watches, if you're trying to find the best deal you can, you gotta put the time in. And I don't even think that is Q&Q Citizen. I have never heard of Q&Q being associated with Citizen before. Could be wrong. Could be like Seiko and Pulsar. I believe it's Pulsar. That's also a daughter company of Seiko. I think... Okay, this is a small watch. This is a woman's watch. And they have it classified as a man's watch. You're going to see this a lot too. I could tell just by looking at this that this is probably like a 26 millimeter watch. That is very, very small. We do not want that. So pay attention to that as well. People will misrepresent their watches. Okay, so this is cute. $60. This is a nice little watch. It looks like it is EcoDrive, and it's got... So the cool thing about the solar cells in these is they give the watch texture to the dial, which is kind of neat. It's pretty clean. Oh, does it run though? Ooh, it's not ticking. Not a good sign. So you reach out to the seller and tell them to put it in the windowsill for a couple hours and see if it starts ticking, and if it does, you're in luck, usually. This is cute. Not bad. White dial's kind of nice, and it's got loom indices, and it's got loomed hands, which is pretty cool. We don't know the case size, but oh, they even say it's not working. Well, maybe they didn't put it in the windowsill. So you could definitely reach out to them and see. Let's see. What else we could find. I want one more. We could do better. There's a full setup. This got the watch and the papers and everything, if this is important to you. It's a square-faced watch. It's probably pretty small. I think we could do better than that. Oof, that two-tone. Yeah, no, we don't want two-tone. Okay, this has 11 watchers on it, which means people are paying attention. It has the Mercedes hours hand, lollipop seconds. It's like, I don't know what you call this, broadsword. But it's a quartz watch. It is probably 38 to 42 millimeter. This is a newer watch. It's in decent condition. It's got all of the links. This is a press constructed link band, which isn't high quality. This watch is probably worth $60. I think we could do better though. And it's also quartz. It's not EcoDrive. And that vintage one right there is a better watch in my opinion. It's flying under the radar, that's for sure. These are small, I could tell. Analog digital, okay. Works as is for parts. Let's not look at that. We want a working watch. This is your first watch. We want it to function. Let's see. We are getting into the $70 range pretty soon here. And that's where we could find some real good watches. These are all pretty meh. They're probably worth what they're asking. Okay, here we go. Oh, nice. Okay, that's right. So you could find really cool Citizen Marvel watches for very cheap. It's kind of crazy. $70 for this. So if you are a Hulk fan, this is a no-brainer. It's a Citizen-made EcoDrive Marvel-themed, Hulk-themed watch. Need I say more? But this is a niche market, so this is totally worth the $70 they're asking, though, especially if it works, which I'm sure it does, because this is a relatively new model. It should also have, yeah, it's a 45 millimeter case size. I'm pretty sure this works. This is a cool watch, if you like the Hulk. So that gets a vote for me. But you have to be into that sort of thing. Oh, let's see how much this watch retails for. I think retail, this is a $160 watch. Okay, so here we go. You could do a Google search, and if Citizen's website shows up, there you go. Citizen wants $225 for this watch. It's got pretty good reviews. So here it is in its used glory. It is a ticking. Yeah, it's ticking. It's working. It's a working watch. This is a good deal. You're getting it pretty good discount. You know, it's like a quarter of the price almost. So that gets my vote for sure. Let's find one more. Let's find a really good watch. Let's see. What is this one? Quartz. This is an older one. I bet that bezel probably rotates. This one's okay. I think we could do better. Yeah, nothing says I'm an old-looking watch like two-tone. It's like Grandpa's watch, you know. I think I have a Tag Heuer that's two-tone where it kind of works, but I wouldn't wear two-tone if I were trying to find a first watch. Maybe once you got a collection going, you could get some two-tone pieces and see how you like them. But two-tone is not my style. Let's see. I don't think any of these are any good. Hmm. Okay, so if you're looking for a really bare bones dress watch, this is going to be too small. I guarantee it. Yeah, I wouldn't. Meh. I'd pass on that. Let's see. We should be finding a sapphire crystal watch really soon, and that's where the value really goes up because sapphire is very, very scratch resistant. It's like a 9 out of 10 on the Rockwell scale, diamond being 10. So, really, generally speaking, the only thing that scratches sapphire is another sapphire. I've had a lot of used watches that have sapphire crystals, and they do not scratch. The AR coating does wear. But yeah, okay. So this is another pretty good watch if you like Spider-Man. It's a good deal. Again, it's a niche watch. But these watches, I think this retails probably the same amount as the Hulk does. Might be discontinued by Citizen at this point, but yeah, I'm seeing them 320. Yeah, 325 is probably what these retailed for. So, that's a good deal if you like Spider-Man. Let's find one that is okay. 22 watches. So this is a Flieger style. It's military aviation. If you like this style of watch, this is a really good price actually for this kind of watch. You'll pay a whole lot more for something like this by any Swiss brand. You pay like $500+ for this. Easy. And it's probably about $250 retail watch. $300 for off Poshmark. Huh. Yeah, that's a good price. If you like aviation pieces, if you're into military watches, this is a really good deal. Let's find one more. I know I keep saying that. We're almost at 40 minutes. Let's find one more Citizen before we call this a video. 45 millimeter case size. That other one, by the way, is probably about 45 millimeter. Most of the Flieger watches were really big, even the vintage ones, because um, fighter pilots put them over their jackets, so they had to be quite large and legible too, because that was important. Let's see. I don't think any of these are any good. Um. These ones are kind of neat if you like the analog digital look. I think Casio does a much better job, honestly, though. Like, if you're going to get an analog digital watch that is not Eco Drive or solar powered, go Casio. I think theirs are just better value for money, for the most part. Some Seikos out there that are pretty collectible, but they're nothing special. Except for the fact that they're a Seiko analog digital. The vintage ones are worth money. There's like the Arnie or whatever. That's a pretty desirable watch, but it's not innovative. It's just iconic. So, come on, one more watch. One more. That's what they always say, right? Just one more watch. Oh, here we go. Okay, so, all right. This is a modern watch. Oh, parts in repair. I was going to say, this one's pretty good. But we don't want... It's a Bryson, I think, is that model. It's pretty good. They're worth about $400+ brand new. If that one was running, that would be a very good... Here's another Hulk for more money. If that Bryson was running, it'd be a pretty good watch. The first watch. Let's see. Yeah, you really gotta look for a good deal, don't you? I found a couple of them. I mean, even an hour of research on eBay, if you could get like 75% off retail. That's pretty good, right? It's worth your time, isn't it? Hmm. This one's not bad. Okay. If you want to dive watch, it's not Eco Drive. It's MSRP 240. It's pretty meh, but it's blue and it's stainless steel and it's 42 millimeter, which is not a bad size, and it's got all the links and it looks like it's brand new. Like, these links still have the, no, those are scuffs. Okay, that almost looks like it's plastic. It's not brand new, but it looks really good. So that's not a bad watch, actually. That's not a bad watch at all. Um, how many do we have? One, two, three, four, five, six. Blue Angel. Okay, so if you want a chronograph, it's blue. Like, blue's a really nice color for a watch. This isn't Blue Angels by any stretch of the imagination, but if you want a chronograph dive bezel watch that's Eco Drive, that's probably not bad. What do they say? Works great. Good condition. Okay. Let's see how much this retails for. This is the last watch. Some people want 290. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. $370 for this watch. Somebody, some shop wants on the internet. So this might be a $370 to $450 watch. JC Penney wants 400 for theirs. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's the same watch. $370. Wow. There you go. This is about a quarter of the price retail. And I bet you could throw them an offer and they would probably take it. That's a nice watch. It's in very good condition. It looks like it's probably got, yep, it's got all the links. That's a good deal. This would be an excellent first watch for under $100. Like, if you like blue and you want a dive bezel and you wanted to, like, maybe you want to try out a dive watch and a chronograph simultaneously, there you go. Okay, so let's see what we got. So this one, is this free shipping? Yeah. No. Wait. Is it free shipping? It is free shipping. Okay. $90. That's a good deal. So let's take a look. Okay, so we got this one. Not great, but it's pretty inexpensive. It's $35. It's not bad. This one, I love this watch personally. I really like the vintage look of it. I like the color scheme. It is two-tone, but it does it subtly. The gold is not, it's not popped out. This is a good watch for the money. I love this watch. For $50, honestly, I would highly consider this watch. It is super unique, and it's just, I really like it. And the indices are so unique. You got these shapes that are really cool. That's a really cool watch. That's my personal favorite. I would consider that one for sure. We got Hulk. If you're into Marvel, it's pretty inexpensive. It's $70. And then we have Spider-Man, which is $80. And Spider-Man's in right now, so if you're looking for a watch Spider-Man theme, that's a good deal. And then we have Aviation, an aviation piece. And this one is $80. Not a bad price for an aviation piece, to be completely honest. And it's got all the box and the papers and everything. And they say it's got a sapphire crystal. I doubt that. I don't think this one does. But it is 45 millimeter, like I said, like I thought. So it's a pretty big watch. But that is a really cool watch too if you want to try out an aviation piece. Okay, we got a pretty bare bones dive watch. It's not bad. $240 retail. You can get this one for 90 bucks. And then we have a roughly $400 retail watch. $90. This is probably finished beautifully. And this is the best value watch probably. The bracelet looks really good. The packaging is good, and if you want the best value watch, this is it. And blue is a beautiful color. You can't really go wrong with blue. It's also got that really nice um, feature on the dial where the photo or where the solar cells are. Gives it texture, and it'll play with light really beautifully. And it's got that splash of red for the seconds hand. The lume is probably really good on this watch too. Um, yeah, it's got a screw down crown most likely, definitely when it costs that much, and it's probably got 100 meters water resistance. Yep, 10 bar. That's a great first watch. I would highly recommend that one. So, yeah, that's all I got for today. I hope this helped you out. If you're in the market for a nice new used first watch, you can't really go wrong with Citizen. I love Citizen watches. If I had to start collecting all over again, and I could only spend $500 total, it'd probably be a bunch of Citizens of all kinds of different styles. So, anyways, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I hope you have a good day.